Basic computer operations. So initially, we've defined what a software is, and just to remind you, we said a software is a set of instructions that tells the hardware how to perform specific tasks. And then we also said that there are two main type of software. We have the system software and the application software. And I remember saying that the system software is kind of the follow come softwares that comes with your that is pre-installed with your computer, and most of the time you cannot make changes to those softwares. And apart from that, there are also softwares that run basically the computer, something like your operating system. All right, it's a system software, and it does not give you should I say applicative functions like what word processors and web browsers would do for you. Rather, it performs the basic or the base operation like running the full computer. So today we're going to look at installing and uninstalling softwares. So software installation and removal are definitely fundamental operations for maintaining a computer's functionality and ensuring it is equipped with the right tools. So you first of all need not install any random software. I must make this very clear. Softwares can mar your computer, softwares can make your computer work great. So first of all, the thing that should inform you when you want to install a software is the purpose. All right, don't just buy a random software installer disk and then just begin to install the applications on the disk. And if there is any software in your computer that you know that you don't even use and it's not a system software, so it's something you can install, I recommend you uninstall it. And also avoid um, filling your computers with different softwares that are probably too heavy for your computer to handle. So, well, that is just by the way. Now, in this section, we are going to discuss the process of installing and uninstalling software. Okay, installing software on Windows. The first step is to download the setup file. Different files can be identified with their extensions. So, for example, an image or a photo, the extension is what? JPG, JPEG, or PNG, right? Depending on the type of image. An Android application has an extension that ends with .apk, and so that will mean that whenever you see .exe file, .exe file, you are basically talking about a computer, a Windows computer software. So they all end with .exe file. So let's say you want to install a particular software. The first thing you need to do is go online, download the application. After download the application, depending on the instructions given to you, some applications come with what we call a setup wizard. Now the wizard just takes you from the beginning of the setup to the end, and you don't really have to do much work. But for some applications, you have to go to the setup folder and actually install the application from there using your own local computer wizard now. So um if the second option is what you did, probably you install a software, that's probably you need to go and look for the setup file. That is the first step you need to take. So you need to look for the setup file from a trusted source. Again, I know I specifically mentioned sources you can use to get software. And I yes, I understand that maybe in Nigeria we may not be able to pay for some softwares, or in some other African countries we may not be able to pay for some software. So that doesn't mean you should just download softwares from random sources, so that again you don't download malware to your computer. So I gave you ficro.com. I also gave you getintopc.com. So at least these are some sites that you can download software from, free software that are safe. So, for example, if you want to install Microsoft Office, you would download the installation package on Microsoft website. Like I mentioned again, there are different kinds of ways to install a software. For example, on your Windows, you have your Microsoft Store. Microsoft Store is a built-in system software that enables you to install other applicative software to your computer. So if you're using a Microsoft store, for example, you don't need to go through this process of locating the setup file. All you have to do is open the Microsoft Store, type in the name of the software you want to install, and then you see the Get button by your left. Click on the Get button, and it will download and install for you, and then you start running your software. So, but if you're not using the Microsoft Store, then like I said, you have to download the software, locate the setup file, and then run the installer. Then once you've downloaded the software, locate the file in your downloads folder, and then double click to run it. Follow the prompts in installation wizard, and you should be good. Now, while installing most softwares, there are some um there are some there are some write-ups you are expected to read. I know in this part of the world we don't normally have time to go through it, but we have write-ups like the accepting the license agreement. So when you click on that setup file, sorry, or even if you are running the wizard directly from the application that you installed, you will usually be asked to accept the license agreement. Or if you have your time, you can go through them, but if you don't have your time, you can just click on the I accept. And most softwares, if you don't click on that icon, you would not be able to install the software. So you don't need to. The next point here is choosing installation location. You really don't need to do that, okay, unless you wanted to install that software to a specific location. If not, you don't need to choose a location, right? Your computer automatically installs your software to the default location, which is under your Windows in your local disk. Then also you can choose the type of software, depend type of installation rather, depending on the software you are installing. Now, if you use a Mac, you definitely need to open the .dmg file, because Mac software usually comes in the form of a .dmg. Remember, I said Windows is .exe, Mac is .dmg. So you need to double click it, and then you typically see the apps icon and shortcut to the applications folder. Then you drag to install. You simply drag the app icon into the applications folder, and that it copies it to your system, and you're good to go. Then let's say you want to uninstall a software. There are several ways to do this, but the best way to do is to just go to your control panel, go to programs and features, scroll through the applications you have, right click on the one you want to remove, and then click on install. Also, you can do that directly from your home page, I mean your desktop. Just click on the Windows icon, type the name of the application you want to uninstall, right click on it, or when you type the name of the application, look by your right hand side, you're going to see a small window. Under those options, you're going to see uninstall. Then you can easily uninstall from there. So I need you to try this install and uninstall process, and then give me feedback. Then the next thing we'll talk about is using peripheral devices. Now, I remember I mentioned what peripheral devices are. Every other thing you connect to your computer, they are peripheral devices. Now, peripheral devices are, like I said, external devices connected to a computer to add functionality, such as printers, scanners, external hard drives, UPS drives, and so on and so forth. So, when you want to set up a printer, I don't know if you use printers, but like I always mention, as an IT professional, you need to know how to set up your wireless printer or your wired printer, and this would be very more practical if you have access to a printer. So I would suggest you. I don't know how you're going to do it, but if you can have access to a printer, I think this will be of more benefit to you. So the first thing is a pretty straightforward process actually. So the first thing you need to do is definitely plug in the printer into the power source and then connect it to your computer using a USB cable. So you're going to see where you can connect your printer to your computer using your USB cable. Now, most of the time for most computers, at least that I know, once you plug in your printer, your computer automatically installs the software that will enable your printer to run. Okay, so the next step is, once connected, Windows or Mac should automatically, exactly what I was saying, recognize the printer and install the necessary drivers. If the drivers aren't automatically installed, you can download them from the printer's manufacturer's website. But most of the time, it allows you to automatically install them. Then that is for a wired printer actually. Then if it's for a wireless printer, remember a wireless printer does not use, you don't use USB cable. So it's for a wireless printer. Then you need to create, probably you're using a router. So all you have to do is connect the printer. Definitely, if it's a wireless printer, the wireless printer will come with hotspot and Wi-Fi compatibility, all right, features inside of it. So search for it, turn on your printer, search for the particular a particular Wi-Fi or sorry hotspot, connect to that hotspot, and then connect your computer also to the same hotspot. So your printer and your computer is connected um to the same Wi-Fi. Now on Windows, you can now go to Control Panel, Devices and Printers. You click on Add a printer and then follow the prompts. On Mac, you go to System Preferences, Printers and Scanner, and then you just add the particular printer. Then to print a document, it's just the normal way you do it. You open any document, select File, click on Print, choose your printer, set your preferences, and you're good to go. Now let's assume that you want to use a scanner. Now, just like printers, you can connect a scanner via USB or Wi-Fi, just the way you did for a printer. So all you have to do is you can install the necessary drivers as you did with the printer. If you plug in the printer to your computer again, it should automatically install it. But if it doesn't, then you have to locate the website of the manufacturer and then install it from there. Then when you want to scan your documents, you can use the scanner's software. Now every scanner comes with their own scanning software. For example, Epson Scan or the built-in Windows Fax and Scan. So you can select the document type, adjust your settings, and then click on scan. Now once the scan document is once the computer has scanned your document, it will be saved to your computer. Now also note, very important, external storage devices like hard drives and USB flash drive can help you store and transfer data. So they are basically storage devices. I think we've mentioned storage devices in one of our classes, but if we didn't mention it, we'll definitely get there because it's part of your IT course. So you can use these devices to store data. All you have to do is plug into your computer and it should automatically be recognized. But you have to be very careful what particular device you plug into your computer so that you do not introduce malware into your computer. So there are examples here, all right, for you to go through. I'd like for you to go through them, and if you have any question, you know how you can get across to me. So I'll see you in the next class. Thank you.